All right? So the first question is going to be the power rule question. So find x to the 5th raised to the 4th. Okay, I'm trusting, of course, that we can all have our Chromebooks open on one side of our desk and have our notebooks open on the other side of our desk taking notes on this, because you can use your notebooks on the test on Friday. Okay? So if you're deciding to play Snake or whatever other game you play on your Chromebook, okay, that's a choice that you're making, and I hope it doesn't reflect on your test on Friday. But again, that's a choice. I would probably recommend choosing to pay attention during this, though. So everyone's looking at this problem now. X to the 5th raised to the 4th. We're going to use the power rule here. Okay, power rule, which was 2.1D. Okay, in the power rule, all it states is that we're going to take this exponent on the outside of our parentheses. Okay, when you see parentheses, think of power rule. Okay, parentheses, power rule. Because we're going to multiply these two exponents together. It's like we're distributing the 4 to that x to the 5th, right? So we get x to the 5 times 4, which equals x to the 20th power. Okay, the other answer choices on there. X to the 9th, maybe you accidentally added them together. That's a common error. X to the 1st, maybe you subtracted 5 minus 4. Okay? And then if you just divided 5 over 4, you may have gotten x to the 5 over 4th. Hopefully no one got that one. All right? You got a question? Okay, if someone needs a pencil, I can give them a pencil. All right, so that's power rule number 1, or whatever number it is on your quiz. All right, number 2, let's do the 3v one. 3v to the 4th times 5v. So find this question on your quiz. It might not be number 2, it might be number 5, I don't know. But find the one that starts with 3v to the 4th.
3v to, is that the simplified?
Yes, I believe they all say simplified.
Oh, my bad.
It's okay. So this question comes from 2.1e, power of a product. Again, 2.1e was just all of our rules that we already learned with the addition of coefficients, right? Like you saw in your check-in this morning. One of the options for concepts you want to review was power of a product. In parentheses, I put coefficients because that's all we added here. So this is just the product rule. Big thing here is to remember that this v may not look like it has an exponent, but really, what's the exponent on this v? 1, right? And it's going to come into play when we add our exponents together. So first, let's take our leading numbers out. 3 times 5. Okay, that's going to be our new coefficient on our answer. And that gives us 15 for a new coefficient, right? So right away, if we remember that we have to multiply the coefficients, half of our answer choices are gone, right? We can't start with an 8. That would be if we maybe added our coefficients together, which is not what you want to do. So now it's just v to the 5th versus v to the 4th. If we have v to the 4 times v to the 1st, we just have to add those exponents up, and we get v to the 5th. 15v to the 5th. So again, here are the answer choices. If you added those front numbers together, maybe you got something with an 8. And then if you got 15v to the 4th, you probably just forgot that this v has an exponent of 1. Okay?
Yeah, that's right, Josh.
Good. Okay, Jordan, what's going on? What's all the distractions going? Okay. All right, number 3, sticking with power of a product. Let's find the one that's 10a to the 3rd over a to the 4th.
That's number 4.
Might be number 4 for you. Could be number 1, number 5, doesn't matter. The order is random. But find this fractional question. So all the answer choices for this question were pretty similar, but very different, right? This is, again, 2.1e, power of a product rule, except now we're kind of doing power of a quotient, right? So let's expand out our factors. On the top, we've got 10, which is 2 times 5. And we have 3 a's, right? Times a, times a, times a. And on the bottom, we have 4 a's. A times a times a times a. So whenever you see a fractional question and there's a lot going on, immediately your brain should go, let's split this up. Let's expand it out, see what we can cancel. Because there is something we can cancel, right? How many a's can we cancel from the top and the bottom?
3 pairs.
3 pairs, right? 1, 2, 3. All those a's go away. And now this is where the mistakes may have happened with your answers, okay? We see that we have 2 times 5 and we've got an a. Immediately, our brains, and it's not your fault, will see that and go, boom, our answer must be 10a, right? We've got a 10, we've got an a. So our answer is 10a. But we have to always keep in mind that whatever's on the top stays on the top, and whatever's on the bottom has to stay on the bottom. We can't just forget about our fraction and bring them both down. All we have left on top is 2 times 5. All we have left on bottom is a, so our answer is 10 over a. Okay, 10 over a. Not a over 10, not 1 over 10a, but 10 over a. It's the only answer you can possibly get. Questions on that one? All right. Number 4, let's do the 1,500,000 question. Find that one for me. So right here we start with our decimal once again at the very end. We talked about this exact type of problem in the warm-up, so I won't spend too much time. We want it to end between 1 and 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total spaces. Okay, we want one number to the left of our decimal. So that's 1.5 times 10 to the 6th, because we have 6 spaces there. Positive exponent, because 1.5 million is a really big number, right? Now it's from 2.2. Scientific notation, converting between standard and scientific. And then 5, we got 8.4 times 10 to the negative 6. Let's write out our 8.4. Are we going to move this decimal to the right or to the left, folks? To the left, right? We know that we have a really small number because of this negative exponent. So we want to make this number a lot smaller. We're going to move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces and make a decimal. So our answer is 0.5084. And again, use multiple choice to your advantage, right? These were your 4 answer choices. You see that we have a negative exponent. Immediately, you can cross out 8,800,000, right? Those are way too big for a negative exponent. Now it's just a matter of how many spaces are we moving the decimal. So if you didn't move that decimal 6 spaces, maybe you got 0.00084. But that's all right. This is why we take these quizzes, is to learn before the test. Questions about this? Good. Just so everyone knows, I'll be here after school from 3 to 4 if you need to come in for additional help.